Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at Dragon Kaiser from Brave X Kaiser, and here he is, and he is a gigantic blue plane. And obviously, if you can't see it there, you can see it now. He has a very, very simple late G1 style transformation of doing basically nothing, lying on his back and just moving a couple parts, but I really like this guy. I don't know why, for how bad he is. I still really like him. I think it's because he's a gigantic plane. He's just so gigantic. You know, it's just like a aircraft carrier for the sky. You know, like a massive, the oil tankers or something. Imagine that, but it flies, as a plane. Just you see this monolithic plane just so huge, covers up the sun. This is what this plane sort of is. It's so big that this cockpit sticker is a detail. It's not a cockpit. It's just, I don't know. I just like it. I think it's just a cool toy. I can just totally see a kid not caring that he has such a simple transformation, just whooshing this gigantic plane around. And I just think that's so cool. I just really like it, even though it's so simplistic. I just really like that. I just really like that. I just like him in general just because he's big, he's huge, he's dumb, and whatever. I just like it. Even though, objectively, I will say it's not a great or a very poor, airplane mode. But I still really like it for ultimately what it is, even though it's not great. But and he does have wheels on the bottom, but I don't really use them because they don't really roll, and I don't want to scratch up the chrome and everything on the Great X Kaiser plate, and ultimately he doesn't really have any kibble on him other than his hands, his feet, and the Great X Kaiser chest plate, because other than that, most of it's kind of covered up. You can see the Great X Kaiser head poking through this slot in the cockpit, but other than that, it kind of covers itself up. I do wish that this sort of tabbed in a bit better or had a bit more of a better friction fit or something, because that is a little annoying that this just, the cockpit just comes undone. But other than that, and the wings are a little loose, but I don't really care about the wings. And I bet if this toy wasn't so old, this wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I do want to mention that. But overall, it's a really good jet in my personal opinion. I know a lot of people probably disagree, but I like it. But yeah, let's transform it, which will also be super simple and basic. So basically, what we're gonna do is just fold his wings down and just stand it up like this. Raise up the camera, and we'll swivel these around. Now, I don't know if there's supposed to be stickers on this side. I don't know, but if you want to have the stickers on the opposite side, if only one side comes with stickers, you can just flip them. So flip those down, flip around the head, and I like to push this back because there's a little slider. There's a slider right there. I just like to push it, even though it doesn't really do too much. And then obviously flip up the chest plate and click it into place. So there is Dragon Kaiser, or I should say Dragon, because in the show, I can't remember what episode and where he originated, but Dragon is him right now. He's kind of like God Bomber or the Apex Armor from Super God Master Force. I know the Apex Armor is not from Super God Master Force, but God Bomber is. But kind of like that, how Jinrai sort of lives through God Bomber and is sort of like a drone until he can possess it, kind of, or something, and use that as a second body. Kind of the same thing here. Dragon is just like a drone until X Kaiser merges and combines with him, and now he is big suit of armor, just like the King Loader is for Kaiser. So I think that's the way it works. So that's why he's called Dragon now, and then he's called Dragon Kaiser when Kaiser unites with him. So he can act alone. He's basically a drone, but he's still super cool. I really like the red on him. Really, the red. Some of this blue, just to break up the white. But I definitely really like the red interacting with this navy blue. I like how it breaks all up. And even these being uncolored, I don't think they had stickers. I don't think so. Don't feel out of place. Like the white is like the sculpting is deep enough to where I don't need a sticker to pick out the details in it. But yeah, and for what he is, he does have some like little great detail right there, and he has some detail, but not a lot. But like the silver thighs and the red and the yellow right here do complement the sort of maybe like this blue that could get a little boring. Yeah, and then the jewel right there on the chest, and then his head definitely has Star Convoy vibes. Just a little bit smaller head crest, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, it looks very Star Convoy-esque, very like Star Saber-esque, with the silver mouth plate, blue blocky head. Doesn't have the same like frills and like fins as King X Kaiser, but yeah, I really like this guy, even though he can, just move his arm. But I still really like this toy. Same thing with the King Loader or King X Kaiser. He is a little hollow, but that has to do with how he not really how he transforms, but how he pulls off the Great X Kaiser mode and the just Dragon Kaiser mode, accepting X Kaiser. He has to do that. He has to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's really it. So now let's combine him with X Kaiser. So what I like to do with this is I like to take the guns off just to get some more things out of the way. And so this whole thing is going to come up over. And I just like taking this piece off. It just makes it easier, and it will clash with these pieces and his head, and I don't want it to just pop off and like wreck the peg and the stuff inside, so I just take it off. So what I like to do, just to not really preserve it, but just make it easier, it has these hook tabs. I like to compress them just a tiny bit, just to make it a little bit easier for them to come out there. That's just how I like to do it, just like this. I like to press, and pull. Just makes it a little bit easier. Doesn't obviously make it to where it just pulls out super easy, but it makes it easier. And I've never had the greatest time doing this. Like, there's no tabs, I think. I don't really know how this works, but you just pull on it, and it just comes undone. I don't know where it pegs in and everything. So undo that, and now we'll bring in X Kaiser, and I don't know how you have to position his arms, but we'll swing this up, and this one I definitely do think there should have been a bit more clearance. I think there should have been more clearance on the King Loader going into King X Kaiser, but I definitely think there should have been more clearance going into this one. But I don't know. But I just like to rock the head in first, and then sort of try to get the legs in then, and then situate the arms. I think that either I'm doing it completely wrong, which could be the case, but I think there probably should have been a little bit more clearance for the toy to slide in my personal opinion. But yeah, I've just always had to sort of just fiddle with it and pull it out, put it in, until it just happens and I get it. Like, there we're close, but And this is where I think there should have been a touch more clearance for this to happen. Yeah, that's just what I think. And just gonna keep messing with it. Until I can get it. But it's just gonna keep fighting me. There. So now we're going to make sure he's all in. All the way in. Make sure his arms are straight and everything. And now we're going to bring this down. And I think that foot is sticking out just enough, but and then creating that gap, but it'll be all right. Actually, no, we'll just fix it. Ooh. That I know the toy's okay, but it just scares me a little bit. I just don't like that. But now we're gonna swing the arm over. You can bend this arm a little bit just so it can do that, and then clip it over. Now same side over here. And push that in. Now we'll put our crest back on, and we'll put the guns back on, like so. And now, in the show, this is where the eyes open. The eyes of the dragon open right there, because X-Kaiser and Dragon Kaiser are alive now. They're not shut like that. And I really love that gimmick. Really love that gimmick. Love the idea. So now, obviously, that does a whole lot for the feel of the toy, because you basically put plastic back into him, and now he doesn't feel as hollow. But yeah, here he is, and he's the same toy. In the show, Dragon Kaiser uses a bow. The Dragon Archery, he does not come with a bow. I wanted to make a little brass bow for him. I think I will at some point. Maybe not for this one, but maybe for another one that I do. I don't know. But I will make a brass bow to give him, so he doesn't just have the guns. But yeah, that's really it for this toy. I really like the design of him. Head definitely has Optimus Prime, Star Convoy vibes. Love the bulky design. Like, yes, he's bad, he's hollow, but I really like him, and he's just super cool. So, let's get into Great X-Kaiser. So, I know we just kind of struggled to put X-Kaiser in. Let's get him out so we can do Great X-Kaiser. So yeah. Just undo all the work we just did. And just being careful. There. And pull X-Kaiser out. Like that. And we'll set him off to the side here. So, wheel prep. I'm just going to leave those like that. And this will go off to the side because we don't need that anymore. So now let's prep Dragon Kaiser for Great X Kaiser. So we'll flip this up. I'll just flip it all the way up, just over his head. This chest plate, it hooks over, has a hook and hooks over these little indents on both sides. So we need this piece. Put that off to the side. We will rock. I just sort of rock him out. And this, because his legs aren't very heavy, as light as a connection as it feels, it's a pretty good connection. It's a pretty good connection, and we'll just set him down. And now we'll split this, and it just tabs together, and we'll pull it apart. Do watch these, just the way he connects regularly, and the way King X Kaiser feet fit in here. Watch out for some stress marks in the corners and some scraping over here. I know these pieces are probably fine, but just warning you that just to watch out for those. And while I'm doing this, and we're just gonna split this. So, of my readings, I have not found out that I don't think there was a reissue of Dragon Kaiser like there was King X Kaiser. Like I said that I have the reissued 2001 version. I do not think that there is a reissued version of this character or this toy. So I think. So just want to say that while I was just flipping in the Dragon Kaiser head. So you're gonna disconnect that, and then you're gonna bring this one around, the arm around, and it's gonna peg in. And same thing, what I like to do to undo this, just stick my finger there and basically unlock it, just to minimize the stress and everything. So there's one arm, and now this side, same thing, just do that, and there's second arm. And before we're done with these, we take these, and I guess if you don't care if the stickers are facing forward but you want the guns up, you can, but I'll just do it the way I'm supposed to, with the barrels facing down. So now we have Dragon Kaiser all done and ready. So now I'll bring in the King Loader, and we will fit X Kaiser in here like we did in the last video. Close them all up. And now it's time to unite the two. So first things first, we're going to bring the wings down, and we're going to bring the feet in. And these feet, they don't really need to be in a specific spot. They just need to be somewhat like that. I'm gonna spread the legs apart, and I'll do one at a time. And these will just clip in. You'll feel it. You might have to play with it a little bit. Just move the foot around so it slips in. And you just might have to play with it and fiddle with it. So there are the legs. Oops. Just gonna sort of twist it and press on it to make sure it sets good. Spread the legs like that. So now we'll raise the camera up just a touch. And before we're done with the feet, we'll flip these up. So just spread the legs a little bit just to gain a little bit of a better stance. So now we'll deal with the arms. So there is these two little, this slot that will go over this little sculpted piece, and then this clip right here will go over this little tab right here, right there. You can see it. So like this, you'll slide it over, and I'm trying to find it, and it'll just tab in, and like that. You can see that because that slides over that piece, it does put stress on this door piece, this shoulder piece for King X Kaiser, but that will be mitigated or alleviated here in a second. Now this is the exact same thing. There's that slider, and this is opposite end of the tab. So that one goes in a bit easier. And now the chest plate has these two far slots, or these far tabs that will go into these yellow slots. And this will make all of this much more rigid. Much more rigid. And now those arms really don't move too much. They do move, but they don't move near as much as they did without it. And now this, the Great X Kaiser head is out, and you just plug it on like so, and I'm going to just leave that. So here is Great X Kaiser, and this toy is gigantic. here he is compared to Omega Supreme, and he dwarfs him. He dwarfs this toy, puts him to shame, and he's not a huge toy, but he's not a small toy either. So that's how big this guy is. He's gigantic. So now this does have a use, but not on him. So this is what is, I think, I don't know what it's called. This sword's called, but we put it on. But this is the big gold sword that he merges the dragon archery with the Kaiser sword to make this sword. And here it is. Obviously, it's really dinky, especially compared to what the masterpiece comes with and uses. And yeah, it's okay. It's an okay sword, but I wasn't satisfied with that, so I went and I made my own out of a solid piece of brass. It's 12 inches tall, or this is probably 12 to 11 inches tall, so Great X Kaiser is already taller than that. The handle just fits loosely in his hand, and I don't keep this in his hand because you can just see how heavy it is in his hand. It just takes up all the play in the ratchet, so I don't have him hold it all the time, but it definitely is a bit more proportionate and cool looking with this gigantic toy. It isn't polished, like chrome, like the masterpiece, and there are some deep scratches and scratches here where the bevels are cut in, where I find out the bevels in, but it's okay. It's okay, but this toy is incredible. This toy is insane and crazy. It's definitely a centerpiece, and it's just crazy, insane. The toys separately are very fun. I love the toys separately. I love Dragon Kaiser. I love King X Kaiser, and even X Kaiser by himself. They're still very fun, awesome toys. But there's no doubt that this is definitely what both toys, technically 3 toys, were meant to do. And it's just insane. It's an insane, gigantic toy. And it's just crazy and awesome, amazing. Like, it's just a spectacle to behold this gigantic toy. Like, it's just insane. Like, yeah, you get a little bit of kibble, but that's not what it's meant to be. It's just, and yeah, you only get an elbow, but it gives off the same exact vibes as its separate toys. Like, you only get an elbow. It's just a gigantic thing. You can just just fly around, beat up anything. Like, that's what this toy is meant to do, and that's what I love about it. I love the colors. The colors fit each other, and the chrome everywhere. This is definitely like a toy to behold. Like, it's just so incredible. I love it. And it's gigantic, it's awesome, it's cool, and it's just super insane. I love how proportionate it kind of is. Like, the arms aren't super short, the legs aren't super long like a lot of the other upgraded guys or combiners in the Brave series, which isn't bad. I'm not knocking any of them, or even like Victory Saber. I'm not knocking any of those guys, but this is definitely super cool, and it definitely gives off the same vibe as God Jinrai. Is that the Apex armor, or I should say God Bomber, doesn't do anything, and it's just a drone, just like Dragon Kaiser, until Jinrai imbues him, just like X Kaiser combining with Dragon Kaiser, and then when they break apart to form God Jinrai, he forms the arms, and he forms the feet, and a chest plate. Like, this is literally what God Jinrai is. And then, like, X Kaiser forms the chest, basically, of King X Kaiser, and Jinrai forms the chest of Super Jinrai. This is basically God Jinrai, just, like, cooler, I think. because this guy definitely is Transformers. You can tell has the same exact style of engineering. Just all he is a Transformer with a different name tag. That's all he is. And I just love it. It looks so incredible. Unfortunately I don't have a God Genrai with I don't have a God Genrai, and I don't have a Power Master Optimus Prime with Apex Armor to show you. I was kind of looking into one to show off in this video, but I didn't find one for a good price that I really wanted. But yeah, I just love this toy. Really love it. Once again, I bought this guy for basically $200. Bought him for $200. That's with shipping. So I got him for even less. Both of these guys. And I love it. I was supposed to get a Dino Geist, but this is still also amazing. I really love this toy. Really, really, really love it. If you're into Brave, I most certainly say get this, hunt one down, and find them. You probably will not get one for what I got mine for. You'll probably be closer to $300-$400, at least on eBay for these two. If you get lucky, you might find them for less, around $250-$300, but you're gonna be more closer to. If you're gonna find one complete in the same condition as mine, probably be closer to $300-$400, not the $200 that I paid. But I'm super, super happy that I bought this. Very, very, very happy that I bought this and that I have it. Because it's a spectacle. It's a lovely, lovely toy. I don't know if it's going to stay like this. I think I'm going to take these guys apart and have them separate, and then I'll get another set. I'll get another pair of these two and then put them in the Great Kaiser mode. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Either they're going to stay apart or they're going to stay like this. I don't know what I want to do just yet. But overall, I really love this toy. If you're into this, if you love the toy, if you really like this toy, or if you love Brave X Kaiser or just Brave in general, I recommend this. But if you're not and you're on the fence, I would highly look into either the new, there's no real great X Kaiser. I would look into the Masterpiece, even though you're going to be spending about the same price because of Dragon Kaiser so much. But the Masterpiece or the Bandai SMP. I know that's more of like a Flames Toys, very like rough, Michael Bay aesthetic, if I should say. Not this actual aesthetic. But there are other options out there, lurking around, but not too many. But I don't know. But or the Kotobukiya kit, but that's about $100. But you can get a gold-plated one for about $120, which I will end up getting. But overall, it's a very, very cool toy, very fun toy. They definitely show their age, but so do a lot of G1 toys. And yeah, I just really like this toy, and that's all I have to say. So, till next time, see ya.